What's going on, guys? Before this video starts, I'm gonna quickly apologize because it's gonna be pretty confusing, I think, because this video was just gonna be of me just swapping out the center support bearing. I don't know what it's called, but the big black thing that pretty much keeps the drive shaft in the center, the support, I don't know what it's called or anything. But I was gonna swap it on the hard body, which I'm in right now, and the 720, because both of them are pretty much shot. But I don't know what I'm gonna be doing because this truck has a 720 diff. 720 diff and a 720 drive shaft. And the other truck, my 720, has a hard body drive shaft. The reason for that is because I swapped both the drive shafts because I wanted this truck to run with the welded diff that my 720 had, and the bolt pattern is a little different. So this drive shaft, as you can see, it's pretty skinny. The stock one is about like maybe right there, so it's thicker, and the bolt pattern right here is a little different on the because this is a 720 diff and 720 drive shaft, so this mates well together. But when you put a hard body drive shaft, it isn't, you know, this is different. So pretty much this is like, let's just say, I know I used this in one of my other videos, this is 4 inches, and on the hard body it's 5 inches, which I know this isn't 4 inches and 5 inches, but that's just an example. So 720 is, the bolts are 4 inches apart, and on a what did I say, 720 4 inches apart, hard body 5 inches apart, so it's a little different. So that's why I'm running this. I already got it loose over there. Now I just need to take these 4 bolts off, take this off, and then just literally yank it out, and it should come out. What I was thinking is getting it cut somewhere and having this little piece from the other one put on, or if you can, take it off from here and just put the other one, this little tail shaft, I don't know what it's called, this little part on there. I still don't know what I'm gonna do. If I do get it welded, it'll probably be tomorrow because I don't have time today. Okay guys, so both the drive shafts are now out, and I'm gonna try to explain a little bit more with detail and actually show you guys, so hopefully you guys understand. I know that I've been trying to explain and it's been kind of confusing, but right here, this is the Nissan 720 drive shaft, and that's the hard body drive shaft. This part right here, I don't know what it's called, but that one's thicker. But these two in the back are the same size, so what I'm thinking is cutting it somewhere right here and just swapping this part, because as you can see, the bolt pattern is different, and I need this one to line up with the 720 diff that I have in the hard body that's welded. So this is what I need right here, so I'll just swap. Well, I'm thinking of just swapping that. As you can see right there, that's the like support thing for the bearing, and that's also one, but this is the one that the 720 should have stock. That's the hard body stock. So as you can see, this one is smaller than this one's taller, but the thing is, the 720, since this is made for it, it has like in the tunnel for the transmission and drive shaft and all that, it has a big space, so this can fit in there no problem because this bearing is taller. As you can see right there, it's like taller. The hard bodies, they have a smaller one, like the tunnel is smaller, so that's why that's smaller, so the bearing is smaller. But the thing is, this fits in the 720 perfectly because it has a big tunnel, so that fits no problem. This does not really want to fit in the hard body because, well, it's smaller and it hits on this corner right here on the top, which I was running that one in the 720, no problem. The only thing that happened is that it fell apart and everything because it was old. So I can run that in the 720 no problem, but this one, I was running this one in the hard body and it was hitting on the top, so that caused this bearing to get all messed up, which was my fault, I know. I shouldn't have done that. I didn't know that you could change these, which is why I just threw the drive shaft in there and took this support and just mismatched it and made a mess. So what I'm going to be doing now is putting the tall one back into the 720 and I'm gonna put this right here, this drive shaft, in the 720, but instead of putting the small bearing that this thing should have, I'm gonna put the big bearing that comes with the 720 on the hard body drive shaft and the small bearing on this one. So pretty much everything is gonna be stock. I'm thinking of actually maybe returning, like I said, the drive shafts, everything's gonna be stock except for the tail pieces right here and the diffs, but I mean everything else will be stock. Right here, these two boxes, I have the two bearings for the drive shaft. So I was gonna do this right now, but I'm like kind of debating on if I should or not. It's really hot, and I think I'm gonna just take this to get it cut up and welded first, and then test fit it and make sure it works, and then I'll move on to putting the carry bearings and putting everything back how it should be. I know I've been talking a lot in this video, but I want to give you guys details because I know it's kind of hard to understand. So I hope that clarifies some. So guys, I got the drive shafts cut and everything. I already took it to the shop and I got them back, and this is what they did. All I wanted them was to switch this with this, but since this is a little bigger than this, I told them to measure out a little more, like an inch. Like let's say this is 5 inches, measure out 5 inches from the back of here to here, so they would cut it, and then when they would swap it, everything should line up how it should be. But they didn't do that. They kind of messed me up. They cut like a couple inches off of this one, and I mean they're lined up in the front, and this is the one that I'm gonna be running, well, was supposed to be running in the 720, but it's like this much bigger than what it should be because they didn't cut, I don't know, they just did it wrong. They didn't do it how I told them. So this is 2 inches bigger than it should be, and this is like 3 inches shorter than it should be. So they should be around right here, but they messed up my drive shafts. So I'm either gonna have to get a new drive shaft or fix these. What I'm thinking is just cutting this one myself, because they charged me 80 bucks to do this, which was pretty much thrown in the trash because they didn't even do it right. So I'm gonna just attempt to cut it and weld it myself, and hopefully it works. I mean, if it doesn't, then oh well, just I guess experiment with stuff. And this one, cut it, and I still don't know what I'm gonna do with this one because it's too short, but that one's too long. Just cut it, cut like 2 inches off. It shouldn't be too hard. Welding it, I don't think, I mean, my welds won't look nice on it, but pretty sure they'll be strong enough for a drive shaft like this. I don't really care about looks, just for it to be strong, and I think it would be strong, but I guess I'm gonna be doing that now because they fucked me with that part right there. I just cut the knuckle off right before where they welded it, so it was like this. Now I'm just gonna measure 2 inches and cut it right there, and then weld this back on somewhere around there, and hopefully it fits. And this is how thick it is. I thought it was thicker than that, but I guess they're not that thick of drive shafts, maybe because of the lack of power that these KA and Z24 engines are. So yeah, now that's off. Now it's just cut 2 inches and then put that on there. So here are the 2 inches that I cut. It's a little under 2 inches. So yeah, now I have my little souvenir. But now we just get this, we plop it on there, and we weld it. But of course, I am going to clean up this, and then clean it up right here to get the best weld possible. Okay, so I cut this one. This is the one that was short. This is the stock hard body one, the one that was, like I said, too short. So we're gonna cut it. Well, I did cut it, extend it, and then put a tube around the outside, and then just weld it. Right here, I just took off the two little clips. They're right there, and then that disconnects from there, and this should be in here. Then you free this nut right here, which is super hard, and then pretty much the bearing should come out, and then you literally pop it off, and then you get your new bearing right there, and you slide it back on, and you repeat the process. Okay, so you're gonna want to put it this way with these little thingies right here. I don't know what they're called, the little teeth facing that way, and then this thin washer and that, the washer, and then pretty much just put the nut back on and just tighten it, and then she's pretty much good to go. So for this nut right here in the middle, I tightened it down to 55 pounds with my torque wrench. So that's now done, and now it's time for these to just pretty much put it on these. Alright guys, so the drive shaft is now painted, just so it won't really rust. I don't really care how it looks, but now I'm gonna throw her back into the truck, and my battery is dead on this, so I'm charging it up right now to see if I can run it later on today. And yeah, cute ass trucks. So guys, as you just saw in those crappy clips, the drive shaft is now in, the carrier bearing is now in, so this truck is good to go. Now I just need to weld up the drive shaft on this one and put the bearing on this one, but I'll do that probably tomorrow. But this one is all done, and she rips, like, she rips. This is my custom way to hold my boost gauge, instead of having it in the vents that I'm going to be taking out and all that stuff. But as you guys can hear, maybe in the clips that I recorded of, I just put the phone to record and I just started driving. But if you guys can hear it cutting out, it's because I think I need a little bit more fuel. It does have stock fuel injectors and a stock ECU, so obviously that's why. I know I have to get bigger injectors. Well, I think bigger injectors, and I don't know if I get bigger injectors it'll work with my stock ECU. I've heard of people that run a stock ECU with bigger injectors, but I don't know if that works. Maybe you gotta tune the stock ECU or just buy like a mega squirt but for this truck, or like some sort. But I do need to get a tune on this truck, so if you guys know like anyone in near like Ontario, California, like Inland Empire, that does tunes on these trucks for pretty cheap, let me know, because I haven't been able to find anyone that does a tune on old Nissans like this, because they're all like Evos and Subarus and all those style cars. But yeah, if you guys know that if I just put bigger injectors in it it'll run better, let me know, because I am looking forward to putting bigger injectors in this, because I want to run not more boost, but just because leaning out a little. I think I need more fuel. I'm pretty sure I do. Maybe it's not more fuel, I'm not sure. For those of you who know about turbos and all that stuff, comment and let me know about that. But yeah, she rips. I'm also going to be getting rid of this thing and maybe getting the same one and just pointing it down, and then making like a custom exhaust out the bed or out the back or something, because, and then also cut my, what is it called, my battery tray over there and the fender right here, so I can run the piping through there and run my stock headlights and my grill and my hood, just so I can drive it on the street, even though it's going to be crazy loud and obviously it's illegal. But I just want to be able to drive it like on a Sunday, you know, Sunday cruise if I want to go or something, and not have so much attention with all this nonsense and the exhaust right there and all that. But yeah, this one's now done. Now I just gotta do this one tomorrow. But yeah, it'll probably be the exact same thing I did for this one. So guys, that about wraps up this video. I just need to do the 720 drive shaft and bearing, which is pretty much the same process as what I did in the video of the hard body, which I'm in right now. It's all pretty much straightforward job. The drive shaft, where I welded it, I know I said I was going to weld a tube on the outside, but I couldn't find one, so I just welded one on the inside. And I think it's a little bit better because it's welded in about 5 to 4 inches roughly. on the inside of the drive shaft. So if the welds were to break, which I don't think they will break, but if they do break, the drive shaft shouldn't fall out and hit anything. But I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't break. I don't think it'll break. Yeah, if you guys were wondering why I haven't been posting a lot of videos lately, it's because I have school and work, and yeah, when you work and you have school, it's kind of hard to make videos. So if you guys are getting mad, I'm sorry. But school is going to be getting out in about maybe 2 weeks, I think, 3 weeks. I don't even know. I don't pay attention. But I know finals are coming up, so that means school's it's going to end. So maybe I'll be posting a lot more videos for you guys. But if you guys have any video ideas or, you know, anything you want to see, comment, and I'll try my best to see if I can do them. But yeah, I know I look bald right now when I wear a hat, but that's because they messed up my hair at the barber, and I don't like the way it looks. And yeah, I'm not bald. I just got a really messed up taper, fade, I don't know what you want to call it. I asked for a skin taper, and they gave me this, but oh well, I'll just wear hats. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys did learn something. I don't think there was much to learn, but I hope you did learn something and enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.